What is good with y'all today? BCBO, aka Cole Brown Official. Today is my birthday, and I do a lot of reflecting on my birthday. Look back at how the past year went so I can learn, improve, and just learn more about myself. Because I realize that's what you have to do. You have to learn about yourself before you try to take on any task. So I'm going to just go off the dome a little bit, what I learned this past year, and what I realized what a lot of men are missing. A lot of people don't know who they are, so they don't know where to begin. So then you look for everybody's judgment of you. You look for everybody's opinion. And this is what I spoke on the other day when it came to the hookup culture. You know, a lot of guys would do that just for validation, just for bragging rights. If you're going about it that way, you're doing it for the wrong reasons. A lot of people do things for the wrong reasons. They always trying to please other people, show out in front of other people. And I understand, you know, because it's hardwired in us to care what other people think. Like some people would say, I don't care what anybody thinks about me. Well, you should care about certain people's opinion, because back in the day, in your tribe, if you got kicked out that tribe, you were gone. You were probably going to end up dead. So people to care what other people think about them. But nowadays, that doesn't serve us in a lot of ways, right? We should only care what certain people care about us. The people you care about, the people that rock with you, that's the opinions that matter, right? I got a lot of backlash for the last video I posted. You know, a lot of people didn't like that, but that's why I tell people, like, my content is just probably not for you, right? If you have an issue with some of my videos, I don't expect us to agree on everything, but if you have major disagreements, my content is just not for you, and that's perfectly fine, right? I'm not trying to convince or convert anybody to the way I think or believe. That's perfectly fine. But I realize a lot of people aren't living for themselves. Once you start living for yourself, everything will change. Talking to a guy in his late 40s, maybe early 50s, and he was telling me, when I was your age, I was wild. Like, I was wilding out with the girls when I was your age. He's like, you just about to hit your prime when it comes to, you know, getting down. And I was told him, I was like, no, I don't be going that crazy. Like, yeah, you know, I do my thing, but I'm not like, that's the only thing on my mind. Cause he's like, that's all he used to do. And then he told me, he said he glad that's finally out his system. And he told me one day he slept with 3 girls, and one day raw dogged all 3 of them. And I was like, that's crazy. And then another dude that was with us, he asked him, did you at least shower in between? He said, no. He said, and that day I felt like the man, but I looked back at that and that was disgusting. I said, you lucky to still be here. You know, cause this was in the 90s. You know, he could have went out just like Eazy-E because he had to stroke his ego. And that's what he was telling me. He said, like, I was doing all that stuff for my ego. Like, once you do it to that point, you're trying to sleep with 3 girls in one day. You're not even doing it because you have the urge. You're trying to do it so you can tell your friends and brag, oh, I hit her in the same day. Like, that's when you're living for the wrong reasons, bro. You trying to impress other people that really don't even care. A lot of times you tell these people, they just get jealous or they hate on you anyway, right? And that's why I told y'all, like, even if you're in a situation like you trying to, you know, you trying to have some fleeing situations, whatever. Okay, let that be that, and you don't have to speak on it. You don't have to tell everybody, right? One time I was in the gym and my friend, he was pointing out a girl, oh, she bad. I was like, yeah, she's straight. I had messed with that chick before, but I wasn't gonna say it because what is that gonna do? What is that gonna do? Like, I already had plenty of dudes hate on me, get jealous, all that type of shit. So I like to lay low. And that's why I prefer a lot of y'all do. Like, don't be having your girl everywhere. Don't be telling your business to everybody. Because that's when shit gets messy, when everybody gets up in your business. Lay low, bro. That's the best way to be. Whether it's fling or even if you got a serious relationship. Don't be posting her every single day. All these dudes seeing her, trying to slide in her DMs. Because a lot of these dudes are fake. I'll tell you that right now. A lot of these guys are fake. And once they get thirsty, they're willing to drink from anything. They get thirsty enough, oh, they're going to slide on your girl. A lot of these guys, bro. And I just realized how much my perspective changed, man. Because, like, I don't care like I used to, man. Like, my birthday a year ago, I was trying to hang out with my ex. And she was like, don't you have some friends to hang out with? Like, she was like, nah, I'm not trying to, like, see you. Like, go hang out with your friends. And I didn't take it personally. Like, I use it for motivation, don't get me wrong. When I say sometimes I take things personally, it's just for motivation. It's not like it actually affects me. You know, I know how to look at certain things in a certain way to get me motivated. But it's like I didn't feel any type of way about it because I know my life is just gonna keep getting better. I'm gonna keep growing. That's why when I have friends tell me like, "Oh, you need to go ahead and settle down and stuff," I'm like, I don't though, because I know I'm gonna keep getting better. Because this past year, this is the first year I had confidence and I truly believed in myself. Where it didn't matter what people thought about me. That's why it took me so long. Like, I've been wanting to make videos, but it just took me so long because I lacked confidence. I'd have someone tell me, "Oh, why don't you do this instead? Why don't you do this?" And then that's the thing about it, bro. Everybody has opinions, but look at their actions. I think it was Abraham Lincoln said it. He learned from everybody, even if it's what's not to do. So sometimes I look at people, they trying to give me advice. I look at their situation, they're not in a good spot. They never have been in a good spot. And I look at this situation like, see, this is why this dude's in this situation. He's trying to give everybody advice, but he doesn't take his own advice. Let that be a lesson for me. Don't be too quick to tell everybody what else to do. Because you'll have homeless dudes come up to you and tell you, "Oh, you need to do this, you need to do that." Take notes in your head. Okay, this dude's homeless. He's out here trying to give advice. That's his issue. He was too focused on everybody else instead of focused on himself. He was too focused on talking instead of doing. So you can learn from everybody, just pay attention. But this past year, I realized like I truly believed in myself, bro. Because I used to just rely on the body game. Like that's all I had. That's all I had was a good physique. That was it. But then this past year, or the year before last year, that's when I started having health issues. And this past year, I finally found out like it was my pelvic floor. So I couldn't work out as intense or hard as I would like, you know. And I realized I was going overboard with a lot of lifting and stuff like that. But it made me find out who I truly am. Besides the working out, besides the lifting, because I used to feel some type of way when people like, "Oh, you done lost some size. Oh, you used to be lifting way heavier and stuff like that." Like, I don't care about that stuff anymore. Because I'm focused on what I'm doing. I'm focused on my goals. I'm not concerned about what this person thinks. "Oh, I used to look big." Like, I used to get caught up in all that bullshit, bro. And you can't get caught up in all this bullshit because people gonna have you running in circles if you listen to everybody. If you're doing something good, they're going to say, "Why don't you do this?" You're doing something bad, they're going to say, "Oh, well, you should have listened to me." They're always going to have opinions. They're always going to have something to say. But look at their situation. If they're not doing better than you, what can they tell you? Sometimes you got to look at people's situation and learn from their situation. They doing bad. This is why they're doing bad. Okay, we're moving on. But this past year, man, it's been a real wake-up call for me, bro. I finally believe in myself, and it took so long. And sometimes you gotta throw yourself in the deep waters. You gotta throw yourself in the fire to start finding out who you are. Try new things, bro. I've done so many different things that I just tried to get myself uncomfortable. A lot of y'all are too comfortable. You have to get uncomfortable. I've done boxing. I did CrossFit. I've done bowling. I played football in high school. I did track. I did many different things to get uncomfortable over and over again. I worked many jobs. You start a new job, a lot of times you feel stupid because everybody doing everything all easily and they're like, "You don't get it, do this, do this." And you feel stupid. But that's a part of the process. You have to go through that. I had to get comfortable in front of the camera. It was a process. So stop expecting stuff to be perfect from the jump and being too hard on yourself, and just start in whatever direction you want to go. It's not going to be perfect. Find out as you go. And stop giving everybody's opinion so much value, because you won't get anywhere in life if you do that. But I used to rely on the body game, working out. That's all I had. Conversations were hella dry with any girl. You know, that's when it hit me when girls were like, "Look, we talk about the same thing and yada yada." Now I go on dates with girls and I pick apart their brain. We have a whole therapy session. I done talk to girls about stuff I can't even speak on. So I don't have any issue with conversation now. And I grew up with a speech impediment. So that's why I say if I can do it, y'all can do it, bro. You just got to believe in yourself, and you got to throw yourself in the deep waters. You got to throw yourself to the fire and get uncomfortable. But this past year, I learned a lot about myself, and I had to reflect on who I was, man, because I had a lot of anxiety as a kid, I believe. And I went to the pelvic floor therapist, and that's the first thing she asked me. She said, "Do you have anxiety?" I said, "No, I feel good every day." Like, I think I'm the farthest thing away from anxiety. When needles come around, I might have to get blood taken. Yeah, that might give me some anxiety if you want to call it that, but that's about it. But then I reflected on it. I said, no, I probably did have a lot of anxiety as a kid. I lived scared all the time. I was super timid. So I said, maybe that stayed with me. Part of that stayed with me. Like, I learned how to cope with it. I could move around. I don't feel like I got anxiety. I'm Gucci, man. I feel like most people don't feel as good as I feel. But I think my body still was tensed up. Even people tell me like, "Oh, you so tight, you so tight." Me working out, I was super tight. Me running, I was super tight. I could never just chill and loosen up. And that probably goes back to my childhood, bro. So I had to learn how to reflect on myself, man. And sometimes people don't want to go to their childhood because there might be some dark spots in it. But you got to face that shit so you can learn from it and you can move past that shit. Because until you accept that, you're not going anywhere. You're not going anywhere until you accept where you are. But a lot of people won't do that because that hurts. It's not a good feeling to look back and like, damn, these are my flaws. We can point at everybody else. We can look at everybody else, give everybody else advice, but what are we doing ourselves? That's the hard part. That first step, that's the hard part. But yeah, man, this past year been great for me. And I appreciate everybody that has subscribed, liked, comment. I appreciate all y'all for real, man. And the goals for this year, man, I'm trying to have 100K by the end, by April 26th next year. And I'm trying to hit 10,000 subs. So if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to go ahead and do that. But yeah, if y'all want to follow me on Instagram, it's Cole Brown Official. If y'all got any questions, man, just DM me. Feel free. I got some time now, so once this shit blows up, because I'm telling you, I'm finna double down on this shit and this shit gonna grow. It's not my main concern to grow this channel super fast. That's why it's 10K. 10K is not really all that crazy, but I still want to grow it. And I still want people to rock with me. And that's why I always keep telling y'all, like, certain people really feel a bad way about my content. This shit's not for you. I'm going to be very blunt. That's the type of person I am. And I'm not going to come on camera and change that shit. So if this shit's not for you, just unsub, go about your business. I get it. I understand. No hard feelings. But if this shit's for you, make sure to support the work. And I appreciate y'all. And I'll catch y'all boys in the next one.